Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 5 of oak. Yeah, I am an oak. I remember it in moments in my day, and that feeling of my spine lengthening, I remember it in moments. And then I see the trees and I'm reminded. And so find things internally that remind you, like somatic memories and impulses from the inside, but also be inspired and reminders from the outside. As I was looking at the trees yesterday, just this sense of length, beauty, connection, awe, wonder. Um, at the end, I'm going to show you a video of the oak that fell in my garden yesterday. Well, not my garden, just at the back of our land, we have a forest. And so from my kitchen window, I've been looking at these trees for years. And now I showed you yesterday, there's one big gaping hole in the thing, like the front tooth of a 7-year-old. And so I went down and it's an oak that fell. And so an oak fell in oak when great trees fall. Yeah, I was sitting with such loss in my heart yesterday. And then there's so much more light. There's so many other things that are now emerging as a result. And there's the loss of the tree. So come, lie on the floor. We're going to work slowly and deeply and strongly today. Sunday yum. Yum. Yeah. So come. So landing on the floor, find your pelvis, find your spine, feel the back of your head and just wiggle your shoulders gently. Just have a sense of in this moment as you wiggle your shoulders, what's the sense of this moment? Nice. Feel your hands. Maybe they're resting on the floor. Elbows and then feet. How do you feel your feet? And just push your feet down and then go to lift your feet. But your feet are stuck to the floor and you can't lift your feet off the floor. So push your feet down and then go to lift your feet, but your feet are stuck to the floor so you can't get them off the floor, but everything in your body is lifting as such. Push your feet down. And then go to lift your feet. And notice how I didn't say do a pelvic tilt. I said push your feet down and then go to lift your feet. Push your feet down and go to lift your feet. And you're doing a pelvic tilt. There's a deep, strong spinal action happening as a result of the action in our legs. So gestures create movements. And so this gesture of pushing and then pulling your feet creates a movement in your spine. Just feel that. It's a very connected, strong, beautiful action in the pelvis and in the spine. Nice. So drop your knees down towards the right. And just pause there. Always when I get into the first drop of my knees to the side, I just love pausing. It just meets me in a very particular way. I really settle into something in my belly and my breath. Nice. Bring your knees back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left and pause. Like it feels like I have this sense of joy and wonder. It's like meeting an old friend on the road. I'm like, oh, I know you, and I'm really settling and deepening here into this relationship, into this connection. And back to center. And then just sway your knees from side to side. And I don't know whether it's the sensations that I'm saying, I know you, or if it's just me that I'm saying, I know you too. Like, I know me sometimes. And in that moment of dropping my knees over to the side, it's like I shake my hand and I give myself a hug and I say, oh, there you are. So I'm sure there's movements that connect you. You know, all of us, you know, often I'll hear people saying, there's this movement that I love in class and I do it at home. And what I hear in my body when I hear that is, in that pose, I meet myself in such an amazing way that I feel like I am there with me in that moment. It meets me really wonderfully. And so some of you love swan, some of you love water whooshing, some of you love gliders, some of you love pigeon. You know, just contemplate that version of you that turns up and does that movement. You know that you. Nice, come back up to center. Arms are long beside you. So push your feet down into the floor, really strong. Push your feet down, and then push them down so much that you lift your bum a little bit off the floor. And then lower slowly down, and then lift your feet off the floor. Just let them pop up off the floor. Push your feet down, push your feet down, push your feet down, and then lift up off the floor. But let the push of your feet be the lift. And if it's your feet pushing, you won't lift your hips higher than your knees. It's just, that's the way it is. Unless I start pushing from my elbows and my chest. Lower down, lift your feet off the floor. So feel where the push of your feet ends you up as such. Where do you end up with only focusing on the push of your feet? Lower down, lift your feet off the floor. Push. The gesture of pushing, where does it end us up? Lower down, lift your feet off the floor. Push. And lower down, lift your feet off the floor. One more time. Push, 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 and pause. So it's not that you're only feeling the push, but your orientation and your connection direction is push your feet into the floor. And then see if you can find that rebound. So rebound is where you imagine a tennis ball falling down through your shins and landing into your feet. And as a result, there's this like boing, and there's a buoyancy or a levity within the rising. But your head and shoulders are also on the floor. So rebound into the floor at your shoulders and head as well. And just feel that there's an elongation and a radiance of direction that can happen as a result. So just feel, connect deeply into the floor, boing, and then connect deeply into the floor. Just feel, how does that sense of rebound, connection, maybe engage your elbows a little bit into the floor, maybe your fingertips. The more you connect downwards, the more levity and elevation you can receive upwards. Are you equal left and right? I can feel my left side is slightly less on. So I'm just going to engage a little bit more into the left side, into that boing. Yoga with sound effects. Nice. Lowering all the way down. Nice. Squeeze your right knee up onto your chest. Hug it in. Pause. Deepen your breath into your belly. Really sink backwards. So the last pose, we were in action. And now we're in deep lengthening, softening, deepening. So find the back of your head on the floor. Sink your awareness into the back of your head. Feel it, sense it, notice it. And then feel your shoulders on the floor, the length of your spine, the back of the pelvis. Nice, change. Draw the left knee up onto your chest. Squeeze it deeply down. Breathing into your belly, sink a bit deeper. Nice. Bring both knees towards your chest, squeeze them both down. Find the sense of stillness of this moment. Coherency. Find your breath. Nice. So lower your feet to the floor and drop your arms overhead. Push your feet down, roll up along your spine. Roll down along your spine. Draw your right knee up towards you. Squeeze it in. Roll up along your spine, lifting your hips. So push your left foot deeply down and let the left foot pushing down rise you up. Lower your bum to the floor. Push your left foot firmly down. Really find the ground beneath your foot, beneath your shoulders. So I'm more deeply pushed into the right shoulder. I don't think I could push more into the left shoulder. I think it's across the body diagonal of balance that's happening. Lower all the way down. One more time. Push deeply down into the left foot. And yeah, my left arm could float around the place and it wouldn't really make any difference. It doesn't hold structural integrity to the pose. Whereas my right shoulder, I'm like really using my right shoulder on the floor there. It's very stable, very steady. I'm using the rebound of my right shoulder into the floor to create a sense of levity through the pelvis. Lowering all the way down. Drop your arms overhead. Pause. Super. And draw your left knee up towards you. Squeeze it in. Push your right foot firmly down. Roll up along your spine. Feel the push of your foot into the floor as the impulse of the rising. And feel now you're really pushing your left shoulder into the floor. And it's not even pushing. Your left shoulder is really deep into the floor. To balance here with your right foot, your left shoulder has to take it. Slowly rolling down. And again, push your right foot down, really deeply, deeply, deeply. Let that rise you up. And then lowering down. So sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm lifting from the spine. Now I'm pushing from the foot as the impulse, as the gesture. Push down into your foot. And slowly rolling down. Feel the amount of weight into your left shoulder. One last time. Push down into your foot, rising. And lowering down. Drop your arms wide, drop both knees to the right. Draw your left knee up in the direction of your right elbow. And then glide from side to side. Draw your right knee up in the direction of your left elbow. And then back to center. As you travel, as you move from one side to the other side, notice how that feels. Super awesome. So bring your feet together, your ankles together. And then roll over onto your right shoulder and have your right arm straight forward in front of you. So your neck is floating here. And if for any reason that feels like, oh, that feels too strong, then bring your right arm underneath your head. Okay, so you can support your head with your right arm or have your right arm straight forward in front of you. So reach your left arm straight up towards the ceiling. And reach, more with your left arm, and find the length of your spine as you do this. So from the top of your head to your sacrum. And now pull your left elbow back to the floor and draw your left knee up towards your right shoulder. Pause there. Nice. Lengthen your left leg long, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. How strong and long can you get through your spine, through your leg, through your arm? I'm using the rebound of my right shoulder and right hip into the floor to support my body. Drop your left elbow back, draw your left knee forward towards your right elbow. Pause. Your head's on the floor. Even though we're working, it's a resting from the other one, okay? And again, rising up. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, left leg long, spine is super long, and that sense of elongation by rebounding my right shoulder into the floor, by rebounding the whole right leg into the floor. It's like strong and connected. And I have this feeling of the ground of me is creating the length of me. Nice. Drop your left elbow back, draw your left knee forward. Stretch your left arm long and let your left foot drop to the floor or drop to your thigh. And really just deepen into your twist. How would you shimmy that left shoulder a little bit closer to the floor? How would you deepen into it? Wow, my shoulder really loves this. Super. Come all the way back to center. Land on the floor with your knees bent. And so again, you have the option of either letting your head float when you roll over or supporting your head with your arm. So left arm is straight out to the side, ankles are together, knees are together, roll over onto your side, and maybe your neck is floating or maybe your arm is underneath your head, okay? Decide for your neck which one is best, okay? Don't gung-ho it for your neck, okay? Reach your right arm straight up towards the ceiling and get long with your arm, reach. And then draw your right elbow forward and your right knee forward, right elbow back, sorry. Right knee forward, right elbow back. And so you're coming into propellers or gliders. This is gliders. And then straighten your right arm up towards the ceiling and straighten your right leg long so it floats above the floor. And just feel my left side. I feel my ankle and the baby toe side of my foot, my knee, my hip, my shoulder are really pushing into the floor. The back of my hand is pushing into the floor to create this sense of length. Draw your right elbow back, right knee forward. Feel that deep twist in your body. Like how much more can you squeeze that knee up towards your chest? How deeply can you draw your shoulder to the floor? The left side and push down into the floor really deeply. Like feel like you're like, holding up a wall with your left side. Like you have to push your body into the wall. Wow, that's so cool. I've just had this. I feel like the floor is a wall with my eyes right now. That is so cool. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, you can rotate your perception like that. That's so cool. Drop your shoulder down. Wow. Stretch your arm out and feel the floor beneath you now. So if this was a wall and you were lying against the wall, you're trying to draw your right shoulder back towards the floor, the wall behind you. And then feel that left leg on the floor and use it as a support for everything else. You know, how do you use the floor to create space and connection through your body? Sometimes we're falling into the floor, we're yielding into the floor. Sometimes we're like that tennis ball analogy. We're like tennis balls rebounding off the floor to create length and space and connection. Awesome. Come all the way back, both feet to the floor. Pause. So if you want to roll over and come into your child's pose as a continuity through oak, that you end each class in a child's pose, actually do, or you can stay where you are and stretch your legs out. I'm going to come into a child's pose. Just because I'm really enjoying a moment of child's pose in my morning. Or if you choose to just lie with your legs long and stretch your legs out, then do. Okay, so just find, how do you pause? Nice. So maybe you stay there. Maybe you lift your head and look at my oak, and maybe you stay there, and then when the class is over, you rewind and see my oak. I'll show you the great big oak that fell yesterday. A second. So this is from traveling up. There's the crown of the oak that fell. And then this is the space that it left in the sky above it. This is its crown space up in the forest. It was massive. A massive oak. Yeah, one of the great oaks. So amazing. Yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful day. And that, I got a few texts yesterday saying that, that I got one from Tara Brach about, well, not from Tara Brach, but about Tara Brach. And she does this beautiful meditation about connecting and to nature. And so I'm going to put it up on the group. And if you're not in the group, text me and I can send it to you. And then just this sense of, as a reflection, just nature is always there, and it's there for support, deeply regulating, deeply nourishing. We are nature, and the more we just sit and feel and hear the rhythms that are there and the cycles and the patterns, actually the more we know ourselves. So nice. Have a great day. Ciao.